Okay, in this lesson, we are basically going to continue with 10.2, and that is multiplying polynomials. You've been exposed to multiplying binomials, you know, a 2-term times a 2-term. This one, we're going to extend it out a little bit to trinomials. So we'll have a 2 times a 3, and a couple different ways we can do that. There's 2 ways we could do that. To simplify, there's one that's going to be vertically, and the other one will be horizontally. Look, remember, with the distributive property, it was twice. We used it twice for binomials. Well, we're going to use it thrice, 3 times for trinomials. And you're allowed to use whichever you like best at the end of the day. All right, so let's do an example up here. Find the product of this quantity, x minus 2, times this quantity here, 5 plus 3x minus x squared. And I hope you notice right away that's not in standard form. So we're going to need to put that in standard form before we get going. It just makes everything line up nice for us, and we get the job done quicker. So our solution with the vertical method. I'm going to use the vertical method first. And you might like that one better, maybe not. We'll find out. What's our step 1 on it? We're going to write it in standard form like we have been, and with the like terms lined up, and then we're just going to multiply. So we're going to, remember what I said, look for the quantity with the most terms in it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So I'm going to take this quantity here, put it in standard form. So negative x squared is the highest degree. Negative x squared, the next highest is positive 3x, and then of course the constant, positive 5. Take this quantity and just line it up, line up the like terms. So positive x goes here and a negative 2 goes there. And now we're going to distribute, but we're going to do it to where you're going to remember how we multiplied numbers vertically like this, where we just put a multiplication sign, drew the line, and we started multiplying like this. So check it out. You might really like it this way. Negative 2 times positive 5. Move out of the way here a little bit more. Negative 2 times positive 5 is negative 10. Negative 2 times a positive 3x, that's a negative 6x. And a negative 2 times a negative x squared, that's a positive 2x squared. So we just distributed, that's what I have over here, we just distributed negative 2 against the top trinomial here for everything, and that's what we got. Then we're going to take the x. X times a positive 5 is a 5x. So I don't put anything here, I put it wherever it lines up according to the top trinomial right here. So positive 5x, x times a positive 3x, well, that's a positive 3x squared, so that lines up there. And then my last term here, x times a negative x squared, that's a negative x to the 3rd power. These are all lined up like terms. We're multiplying. Again, all I did was distribute the x to every term, and I rewrote it right here. Last step, CLT, combine like terms. Negative 10, nothing to pull away from here, so he just drops down. A negative 6x and a positive 5x drops down to a negative 1x. A positive 2x squared, a positive 3x squared drops down to a positive 5x squared. And then there's nothing here to combine with this one, so he just comes down, negative x to the 3rd power. And this is my final answer here. Negative x to the 3rd power plus 5x squared minus x minus 10. That's it. Okay, you go for it, and I'll work it out with you. Okay, I notice that there's 3 terms right here, so that's going to be my top term, and I'm just going to write it out. 3x plus x squared minus 2. Bring this one down and just line up the like terms. That's an x, that's a positive 1, And now I just do the multiplication on here. All right, 1 times negative 2, negative 2. 1 times a positive x squared, positive x squared. 1 times 3x. Wow, I could have just rewrote that whole thing right there. X times negative 2. Oh man, what did I forget to do? I forgot to put in standard form. You know what? I'm going to switch it around at the last part. X times negative 2, that's a negative 2x. See how I'm lining up the like terms? X times an x squared, that's a positive x to the 3rd power now. And x times 3x. Hold on. Wow, this is a good one for me to, we're going to have to actually start over with this one right here. I'm going to leave it like that because it'll probably help you out. Let me get something to scratch out. I'm back. There, I'll start over again. Thought maybe I could make it work out for you and reverse it all out, but you know what? I'm just going to confuse you, so it's okay. I'm going to leave this here because it doesn't hurt for you to see your mistakes and how to make it, you know, to scratch it out. Let's start over. We got to persevere anyways. So here we go. I got to rewrite that in standard form, so I should have written it out. That's the highest degree. The next highest was the 3x positive, and then of course the constant. Now we're going to take the x plus 1 and line them up here. So this is a positive x, and this is a positive 1. Now let's multiply and make it easy on ourselves. 1 times negative 2. Well, remember what I said about that? We can just rewrite it, because 1 times a quantity is still the quantity. Now, x times negative 2, well, that's a negative 2x. So you can see it starts to line up better. X times a positive 3 is a positive 3x squared now. And then x times the last term there makes it x cubed. Now I can combine like terms. Negative 2, positive x, positive and a positive, that's a total of 4x squares now. And I got just 1x cubed on the end here. There we go. Okay? I'm leaving that in because never hurts to see how, you know, how things, some of you might have just started out the same way I did and might have had a problem with it. So there's some extra help for you. Okay, example number 2. Now we're going to find the product using the horizontal method. Here's the problem. 4x squared minus 1 minus 3x, all, you know, that times this quantity, negative 5 plus 2x. Okay, already, I don't know about you, but already it looks more messy than what we just did. But some of you may prefer this method. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to take, I put them in the standard form. Fortunately, this was already, well, no, it wasn't, was it? Wow, you guys are really going to have fun with this when I see you in class again. Oh, man. All right, here we go. I'm going to quick up the pace. So here we go. I just took it, I rewrote it there. I took this one, rewrote it there. And now I'm going to distribute the 4x squared against everything over here. Positive 4x squared times negative 5, well, that's a negative 20x squared. So I kept the blue circle stays with the blue terms of what I did with it. And then I also multiplied it times positive 2x. So positive 4x squared times positive 2x gives you a positive 8x cubed. The green circle, negative 1, times a negative 5, well, that's positive 5. A negative 1 all the way over here times a positive 2x is negative 2x. And then the purple circle right here, negative 3x times a negative 5 gives you a positive 15x. And when I multiply it against the last term, I get negative 6x squared. All right, so I had all this, and I went ahead here's where I just took this and now I put it in standard form. I took the highest degree, which is the 3 right here. He's first. Then the next highest, I had a negative 20x squared, plus another one right here, negative 6x squared, so I wrote it there. Minus 2x, bring that down, that's the next highest. And then I have the next highest, where is he at? 15x, also got those two together, and then a positive 5. So by doing this, you can see I can get them closer, I can combine like terms a lot faster by putting it in the standard form there. So I'm just going to combine these terms and these terms and we'll be finished. This comes down, negative 26x squared, because negative 20 and negative 6 make negative 26. Negative 2x and a positive 15, that still is positive 13 now, 2 away from 15, and then the positive 5 goes there. That's the way to do it if you want to do it horizontally. I think most of my students are going to probably go vertical, but we'll see. Okay, I want you to try it horizontally, and then I'll work it out as well. So pause it, try it, and come on back. I'm going to do this one a little differently. So I'm just going to go ahead and distribute the x to here, here, and here. You might like that better, so you're just thinking about two things that you're multiplying against everything else. It's up to you. Anyways, positive x times a positive x squared gives me a positive x cubed. A positive x times a positive x gives me a positive x squared. And a positive x times 1 is just 1x. Then I'm going to take the negative 4, and I'll put these arrows on the bottom. And we'll do negative 4 times a negative x squared. I mean a positive x squared. That gives us a negative 4x squared. Negative 4 times a positive x, still negative. And a negative 4 times a positive 1, that's still negative there, on the end. Now we need to combine like terms. I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite it and put all the terms together before I actually do my combine like terms. I'm just going to write it so everything looks good. So x3 highest plus x squared. Any more x squares? Here I have one right here. Next thing, I got my x's to the single exponent. I have another negative 4 x's over here. And my last term was the negative 4. All right, no cubed exponents to worry about to combine. Right here, I'm combining these two right here. I just have 1 and I got 4, so that leaves me with a negative 3x squared. Right here, like same thing again, that leaves me with a negative 3x. And then the negative 4 just comes down. And we're done with this one. Presto. So, hope you got the same answer I did. Okay, this is the last one. Your turn again, and I decided that I'd give you this problem here, and it's your choice. You don't have to do it both ways. I'm going to do it both ways, but for you, you choose the way you like best, and then so pause it, and then come on back. And I'm going to work them both out each way that I have there. Okay, vertically, kind of my favorite, I think. Vertically, we're just going to take x squared minus x minus 3. Put the x right there and a positive 5 there. Multiply them out. That's a negative 15. That's a negative 5x. And over here is a positive 5x squared. Then take the x's, that's a negative 3x, negative x squared, and then a positive, what was that, 3. Combine like terms, negative 15 comes down, negative 8x, what is that, positive 5 and a single x squared, so I'm still in the positive by 4, and then a positive x to the third power. Sometimes I just leave that there to remind me what I'm doing, but we certainly don't need it. Okay, so I don't know, it kind of looks a little simpler to me. Well, let's find out. I'm going to start at the top here for this guy, and I'll do it in pink. All right, so I'm just going to multiply these guys out to each one, and then I'll do the 5 down here. And I'm just drawing the arrows to remind me. Don't forget to multiply those. All right, x times x squared, x cubed, x times a negative x, minus x squared, and x times a negative 3 is negative 3x. Positive 5 times x squared gives you positive 5x squared, and a positive times a negative, that's a negative 5x, and then on the end I got negative 15. Okay, I'm going to rewrite it so everything's more together here. X to the third power, negative x squared, bring him over here, positive 5x squared. Let's put these x's together here, negative 3x and negative 5x, and then negative 15 on the end. Combine like terms, and one of these, and so I still got a positive 4x squared. Combine those guys, and I got negative 8x, and then negative 15. Hopefully they match up. X cubed, positive 4x squared, minus x. Hey, awesome. No mistakes. Okay, so there you have it. You can do it vertically, you can do it horizontally. I don't know. That just seems, I know you're going to be familiar with that format because, going through our grades, from elementary to now, you're very used to doing multiplication like that anyway, so you're allowed to do whichever way you want. So there you have it. Multiplying polynomials, specifically in this lesson, trinomials, using a vertical method or a horizontal method. See you in class.